The arrival Professor Loe wasn't finished. He leaned forward, eyes gleaming with the weight of something extraordinary. He spoke of a Manhattan-sized interstellar object, a visitor from the endless dark. A name whispered across observatories and newsrooms alike, 3I Atlas. He had been on the show before, talking about it again and again. Each time, his tone grew sharper, his fascination deeper. 3I Atlas, he said, is not just a comet. It's an outsider, a traveler from beyond our solar cradle, now threading its way among our familiar planets. And some, including Professor Loe himself, believe that it might be more than just rock and ice. He suspects that it could even be alien technology, quietly watching, silently measuring. Then came the moment the world had been waiting for. The interstellar wanderer reached Perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun. Every telescope on Earth turned to witness. From the vast mirrors of Chile to orbiting solar monitors, every eye of science gazed upon it. The sky became a stage. And on that stage, 3I Atlas performed a cosmic maneuver no one could ignore. As it swept through the inner solar system, it shimmered brighter and faster, shedding icy layers, accelerating, and bending to the solar wind like a living thing. What happens, Professor Loe asked, when a fragment of another star's nursery dives into the fire of our own? Now, we have the answer. And its implications ripple through astronomy, physics, and the very understanding of what it means to be from elsewhere. The journey of 3I Atlas began not near, but deep, in the cold vacuum between stars, where sunlight is only a rumor. It traveled through that abyss at unimaginable speed, its course traced by astronomers who confirmed a hyperbolic trajectory, meaning it was not bound to the sun's gravity. It came only once, and it would never return. Before reaching Perihelion, it already showed its strange character. It formed a coma of gas and dust, a delicate shroud that glowed around its dark heart. Its tail, or rather anti-tail, as scientists called it, projected in directions that defied expectation. Even its chemical fingerprints seemed to belong to another universe. As it drew closer to the sun, the radiation grew fierce. The heat struck its surface, turning frozen gases to vapor, erupting jets of dust into space like geysers of light. This was the prelude. The stage was set for the Great Passage at Perihelion. On or around October 29, 2025, 3I Atlas reached its closest point to the Sun, roughly 1.36 astronomical units, between the orbits of Earth and Mars. There, it shone brilliantly, faster, hotter, and brighter than any interstellar visitor we had ever recorded. But what astonished astronomers most was not just its brightness, but how it brightened. Instead of the gentle, predictable glow of a comet warming under sunlight, 3I Atlas erupted. It flared, surged, and unleashed an outburst of energy that defied every model. Solar observing satellites captured the surge. Ground-based telescopes confirmed it, a vast expansion of its coma, a burst of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and something else, something no comet had shown before. A powerful jet streamed toward the sun, a reversal of the pattern seen in typical comets. Scientists dubbed it the anti-tail phenomenon, a mystery within a mystery. This was not an ordinary cometary visitor. This was a messenger from another star, behaving as though the sun's light were a signal it had long awaited. As it moved inward, the solar heat intensified. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, water, all vaporized into the void. The object exhaled its essence, forming vast veils of gas and dust that trailed behind like celestial wings. Infrared spectroscopy revealed something astonishing. 3I Atlas carried far more carbon dioxide than water, one of the highest carbon dioxide-hydrogen oxide ratios ever measured. That single fact changed everything. It meant 3I Atlas was born in a colder, darker realm, a region of space where carbon dioxide ice could survive for eons. In other words, its chemistry spoke of another star's story, another system's history. As the sun's power grew, so too did 3I Atlas's fury. The comet's body shuddered with every surge of solar radiation, casting streams of dust and glowing vapor into the cosmos. Then came the moment of perihelion. The instant when sunlight, gravity, and cosmic motion converged. At that point, the object slipped behind the sun, invisible to Earth-bound telescopes, but not to the space-based watchers who caught every heartbeat of its passage. Even as it vanished behind the solar glare, its energy still radiated through the data. Its signature was unmistakable. 3I Atlas had come alive under the sun's gaze. For the first time in history, humanity had the perihelion event when 3I Atlas re-emerged from behind the sun. It was not the same object that had vanished days before. Something had changed. Its brightness did not fade as expected, it grew. Telescopes across the world reported strange fluctuations. The light curve pulsed irregularly, as though the object were breathing. Its surface, once calm and frozen, now flickered with bursts of energy, brief and localized, not the random chaos of natural outgassing, but something patterned. Astronomers stared at the data, unsure whether they were witnessing a coincidence or communication. From Hawaii's Pan-STARRS to the James Webb Space Telescope, every instrument focused its gaze, capturing spectra, timing variations, and thermal signatures. The results deepened the mystery. 3I Atlas emitted short, sharp flashes of light in precise intervals, flashes that seemed too uniform, too organized, too deliberate. Scientists offered every possible explanation: rotational tumbling, fragmentation, surface venting, but none fit the rhythm. Even more baffling was its trajectory. As it passed through the inner solar system, the object deviated slightly from its projected path. Not by much, just a few thousand kilometers. But enough to matter. Enough to defy pure gravity. The deviation matched the pattern seen years earlier with the first interstellar visitor, Oumuamua. A similar, unexplained acceleration. A gentle push, from nowhere. Some said it was due to gas jets from sublimating ice. Others argued it was too consistent, too clean, too controlled. Professor Loé returned to the airwaves. "This," he said, "is not just coincidence. We are seeing behavior, response, from something that came from beyond." His words ignited debate across the scientific world. Was 3I Atlas a natural body pushed by sunlight, or an engineered probe, built to harness the very energy of stars? Theories multiplied. Each more incredible than the last. One team from ESA claimed the light pulses could be rotational mapping signals, a form of scanning or data transmission. Another proposed that the anti-tail jet might be intentional orientation thrust, a maneuver to stabilize its solar approach. But as the comet receded from the sun, the truth grew more elusive. Its brilliance dimmed slowly, its motion softened, its energy settled. By late November, the wanderer had begun to fade, slipping quietly toward the edge of the solar system. And yet, the data lingered. The strange intervals, the shifting light, the perfect timing, they refused to vanish with the object. 3I Atlas was leaving, but it had left questions that would outlive generations. In December, the James Webb Space Telescope made one final observation. Against the black canvas of space, it caught the faintest shimmer, a thread of light trailing behind the receding object. It wasn't dust. It wasn't vapor. It was something different. Spectral analysis suggested structured reflectivity, as if light were bouncing off flat, angular surfaces. The possibility chilled the room where the data appeared. Metal? Crystalline panels? Or something our instruments couldn't yet classify? Professor Loe, reviewing the final images, spoke only one line. If this was technology, it came not to speak, but to observe. For months afterward the debate raged. Was it natural? Artificial? Or something in between, a relic of an ancient civilization's forgotten experiment? No one could say for sure. But one fact stood unchallenged: 3i Atlas had changed how humanity looks at the stars. It reminded us that the void between suns is not empty. That space, vast and silent as it seems, may still carry visitors, watchers, stories, and secrets we are only beginning to see. And somewhere, beyond the orbit of Mars, the interstellar wanderer drifts onward, silent again, its purpose unknown, its path eternal. But every few years, as Earth turns its face toward that region of the sky, a flicker appears on the horizon of data. A pulse, faint but deliberate.